Hello and welcome to Tonic Studios. I'm Leo and today I'm going to show you how to put together the Scrumptious Sweet Cart. So this is actually simpler than it looks, I promise you. We're going to kind of take it in stages and go through it piece by piece, and hopefully it will make a lot of sense to you as we're going along. So I'm going to bring in my die set so that I can show you which die I have used for each piece as we go along as well. Grab that out there. So the first piece that I have cut is the main body of the sweet cart, which is this long piece that I have here, and it's all on one die. So nice easy cut for you. It is this large die. It's all the way along here, just like so. So you can see you've got your handles on here, you've got all of your glue tabs, and what I've also done with this is I've cut in the opening into the top. So that is this die here. You've got a score line on one side and a cut line on the other, and I have cut that into the piece that is going to be the top of my box, which is the one that has the two handles either side of it. So hopefully you can see that there. So we're going to start by assembling this part of the box. Now I have already, where I've got my opening, you can see I've already put my little closure tabs into here as well, just to make it a little bit easier to feed them in. It's easier to do that while it's flat than once it is a 3D box and you can't really get inside. First things first then, we are literally just going to close up the edge of this box. So just this long glue tab on here, bit of glue all the way along, and then put this into place. Now you do need to make sure that you are not gluing over these little square tabs that you have on either side. So your glue tab should fit perfectly between those two.
You can also squish that flat, can't you?
I was just thinking that I can do it that way. Ah, look at you with the good ideas over there.
I'll go back to sleep now.
Backseat crafting, that's what that is. Okay, press that into place. So I now have the shape of my box. And you can see this is actually quite a sizable gift box on its own. So mine, I'm going to have, like I say, the top opening. If I just poke that up there, like so. So you can get it in that way. And I do also have one of the end opening as well. The next bit then, I'm going to put this to one side and we're going to work on the upright panels that we need. So I've got 3 that I have pre-done and I have 1 still to go, and that is just using, again, one single die for you. If I pull this off, unsurprisingly, it is that one. And you can see you've got these 3 little score lines just along here, and these are very important. So these allow you to make sure that you cut the shorter legs. If you're doing a cart with 2 wheels, you're going to need 2 of the legs to be shorter, but you basically cut right along that score line to make sure they are all the same length. So I'm going to do that now, just with a pair of scissors. You could use a guillotine if you want, or a trimmer, but I have a nice long blade here, so I'm just going to line this up and snip just along those 3 score lines, and then I'm going to fold this all up. So on each of the score lines, just press all the way along. And the next one. And again, because this is a square shape that you end up with, you can glue it flat, which is super handy.
So much easier.
It is. I do love that about forming a square gift box like this, or bag, or whatever it is that you're making.
Yep.
Okay, glue along one edge, all the way along. And then probably you're going to find it easier just to kind of slightly pinch that and fold it over, and then press all the way along. And you're just going to want to hold that for a few seconds.
It's going to want to pop.
It is definitely going to want to pop. And you want to make sure that you press very firmly at either end as well, because you want to make sure that all of it is adhered. You don't want any of it to be slightly pinging open. Be kind to your glue. You know, all those things that we say and tend not to do. So once it is nicely glued, you can then just press it back into shape, and then you have your little square upright. So now I have 2 long ones and 2 short ones ready to go into my sweet cart. So I'm going to bring back in the base and I'm going to press in the tabs. So think. Right, handle end is where you put the short ones, and this end, no. Handle end is where you put the long ones. Wheel end is where you put the short ones. So for the long ones, you want to press in the tabs in those corners, both at the top and the bottom. So just fold them inward and press along the score lines. I had to really think then. It wasn't going well for me, I don't know if you could tell. And then the same from underneath, push them all the way in.
Yeah, because you're going to be lifting those handles onto you and you'll have the uprights.
Exactly. So there we go, all pressed in on there. So I'm going to now feed in my uprights. I want to make sure that I can see one of the score lines on the uprights just here. So I'm going to feed this in from the top and into the bottom, and I want to make sure that score line lines up with the base of my gift box. So again, this is going to help you make sure that your sweet card is level and that it doesn't have like a wobbly bit. You don't need to put a brick under one side to keep it upright. So I'm going to lay that into position. I'm going to put some glue along my glue tab. So it's this glue tab just on this side. Just like so. Hold that in place and then fold the glue tab onto your upright. And again, this is where you're going to need to be kind to your glue. Give it a few seconds to actually grab. So once you're happy that your glue tab has grabbed nicely onto your upright there, you can feed the next one in. So in exactly the same way. Make sure again that your score line lines up with the base. And then I'm going to spin this around, pop some glue onto my glue tab.
It's really handy being able to get into glue it like that.
It is. We made a couple of changes to this
We
when
did.
we were testing it.
We did.
It was not quite so easy the first time round, let me tell you, to get these glued in. And I love the fact that we now glue them onto the glue tab. I think that works perfectly.
It is so much easier.
Okay, there we go. That is now glued into place. But you can also do then, if you want to, and if you have one of our precision nozzles, you can go in and add a bit of glue down the side. I don't know if I can show you just in here. So down the side, on here, I'm okay with them as they are for this one, but if you wanted to add a little bit more structure, definitely go in and do that. And I'm going to add in the uprights on this side. Now I don't want them to come through the base this time, so I'm actually going to leave those 2 squares as they are, so it keeps a nice neat finish on that end. So I'm just going to poke in the ones at the top. And again, just fold along that score line, press it into place. Okay, and now I have my 2 short uprights. I'm going to feed one in. I'm just going to stand it onto that square, and again, using my glue tab, I'm now going to glue that in.
If you do hear any voices, we've got some visitors out in our green room, do we call it? We've got a storeroom just outside the studio, and they're doing some work in there, so unfortunately you may have noticed the light changing and you may hear some voices.
Hopefully not too much. There's just a small minor crisis happening in the background that we're just going to ignore and keep going. So there we go. That one has now glued onto there nicely. So I'm going to do exactly the same now on this side. Okay, so I have my 4 uprights in place. 2 short ones, 2 long ones, just like so. I can now put the ends on, which is going to help to, no I can't, not quite yet. I'm going to put one end on. I'm going to put one end on. You know when you make these things like many months ago and then you come back to them, you don't entirely remember the order in which you did things. I'm having that at the moment. So I have my...
We did say that we were going to perhaps film these a little bit earlier.
Maybe we need to. So I have my opening side panel, and again I've put in my ribbon ties onto here, so they just literally glue into the back. I'm hoping that with all of this white and extra light you can see those, and I'm literally just going to pop glue onto my glue tabs and stick that onto the end of here.
I mean, if you don't want to put music on it, I can always sing for you.
Okay, so let's line this up. You might find it easier to start with one corner and then sort of work out from there.
So it is a little bit wobbly, isn't it? Because it's still unstable and you've got your handles on the other side.
Exactly.
So watch you don't bend those in as well.
Yeah, I'm trying very hard not to. Okay, so I'm going to hold this corner in place. Just for a second. Sorry, I was coaching a bit then. It's not like me. And I'm going to work up that side, press that corner in. And then once you're happy that has grabbed, move over, press the next corner in. And again, work up the side. And then press along the top.
Nice.
There we go. So I should now start to hold this a little bit firmer for you. And because I can actually put this side flat down, I'm going to. So now I'm going to put the decorative pieces onto the handles. So I've got my 2 handles either side. And we need to add some decorative pieces on there. And now the lighting's changed again.
So they've realised that they put the light on and they weren't meant to.
Okay, so I have here the brackets. Let me just bring these in so you can see them. And you have 2 glue tabs. Let's put it on the white bit so you can see. You've got 2 glue tabs. You've got a very thick one and a little thin one. And we do have the reverse side of these. You do have 2 brackets in the die set.
I like having that in a die set.
Yeah, me too. I really like that.
I don't want to use the rear end of the die at all.
Exactly. So the very thick glue tab here lines up with this top part of your handle, like so.
Perfect.
Like that. And then this tab here that I fold around the side is going to stick onto there so it's hidden and nicely out of the way. And what I've done is I've actually layered mine up. So I've gone with a nice maroon and turquoise, maroon and ocean, sorry, look here, and I'm going to do the same with this one. So what I've done is I've taken this one die cut, I've cut it a second time in ocean, and I've cut off the thin glue tab on the side, and then I've taken the other side again in maroon and cut the thin glue tab off because I want to reverse it like so. So it is fully finished basically. So I'm going to take first of all the one that has the glue tab on, just dot some glue over the back. Just like that. And then I'm going to pop my ocean one behind it. How did I do this? So slightly out and slightly down. Try and make them match as much as you can. Doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same. So just like that. And then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put glue all the way over this one now. Right the way up to the top. All the way around the pattern. And I'm going to line this one back up then with the maroon layer. Oh dear. Not enough hands today. All the way like that. So line that up on there, line it up down the side. Perfect. Press it into place. Your glue tab should still fold freely because we've cut the rest of it away.
That's going to really add some strength to that handle as well,
Yes,
those 3
exactly.
layers.
Because I have made all of this out of classic card. So I've not gone for anything stronger with this. I have gone with just classic. So there's my 2 handles. So this one needs to go onto this side because my glue tab folds. I mean, I guess you could do it either way, but this way you've got the neater folded edge. So I'm going to glue this under here and up to that score line on the large tab.
Are you going to trim the blue off the edge of the handle, or are you going to leave it?
I'm going to leave it.
Oh.
I don't think I did on my original one.
Okay.
But I don't feel like I could get my small scissors into there to do it now, to do it justice, so it's just going to have an extra bit. I think the other thing you could do, if you're doing a middle colour, you could take the large glue tab off
I think
in between if you didn't want it to come out of the edge of here, which is what Karen is being fussy about.
Sorry.
So I'm going to pop this into place. So you do have a score line on the large glue tab, which is not for bending, it is just for alignment. So you line that up on your handle, make sure then this should be nice and a smooth edge, should be no bumpies there. Press that into place and press that into place as well. So there is handle number 1. Flip it over and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So glue all the way across here and on my little glue tab on the side.
That's lovely.
I don't think this is a colourway that I've used before.
No.
But I quite like it.
We've done sort of very Dr. Seuss colours before, which was quite a bright blue and a bright shocking red, you know. But I don't think I've put maroon with it either, and it's looking really nice.
Yeah, I liked it, especially with the bright white. I think it kind of.
And of course, like we were
together.
talking about with the when we did the reveal, the lighter blue with the red then looks more Cath Kidston.
Very much so, very much so. So now that I have both of my handles on, you go put them over the white side so you can see what I've done. I'm going to put it on its end, and now I'm going to glue my other end piece just over all of these tabs. I'm going to make my life a bit easier this time. I've decided I'm going to put a tiny dot of glue behind where all of these tabs are going to sit onto these upright pillars.
Nice.
Put them into place. So they stop wobbling around.
Something to rest against.
Exactly. I'm not trying to hold too many things in one place then. So fold that one up as well.
And of course you know where that goes because you've got that perfect angle, the 45s meeting.
Exactly.
Centrally there.
And again, pop that one down.
Yeah, because it's still a bit wobbly until you get that end.
It is, a little bit, especially because I have cut the middle out, obviously. Whenever you open a large piece of card like that, you do reduce its kind of structural integrity, if you like, and it then becomes much more wavily and wobbly than it would normally be. Okay, glue on all the glue tabs. Karen's like, why are you not using the precision nib? I can feel it from here.
Why are you not scratchy over all of those glue tabs?
Yeah, that noise just goes through me. I don't know what it is.
And it's when I use it on a really big piece of card as well. It's your face. And if I do it even when you're not here, I go, this is just for Leo.
Thanks. Okay. Press down on all of your glue tabs, just make sure they're all in place. The benefit of having this open is that if this has slipped slightly, you can go in from the top and just pull it up to meet your side panel. Nice. There we go. So that is the basis of our gift box done. I'm going to again put this to one side, let the glue dry. I'm going to move on to the roof. So I have my 2 roof pieces, and again, let's bring in the die. Ooh. So we've got one.
A really clever glue tab on this one.
Yeah, we have.
I like these.
So your roof is formed from these 2 dies. You cut each of them twice, so you'll end up with 2 of these and 2 of these. And with these, we literally just glue them together like this.
Amazing.
Love it.
Amazing.
Such a clever idea, and you can do it flat as well. So I have already put on my decorative panels. You have this lovely striped kind of bunting to go across the top. Bit of glue.
It's so clever, isn't it? Just,
it is.
I mean, we'd be happy to cut one glue tab off, but Well, you can have half on each side.
It's a neater finish, I think.
Isn't that a nicer idea? Yeah, because you haven't got any cut lines, you haven't got anything to worry about. I love that.
And I love the fact that you can glue it flat.
Uh-huh.
You can make sure it's all nicely lined up.
Yep.
You can be kind to your glue. You're not holding it in midair.
And you can make sure that they are level.
Yep. So level top and bottom.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Okay, and then it's just a question of folding that up, and then we're going to glue the triangle piece underneath. So I'm going to start with one of the sides. And I can't remember now, did I start at the top or the bottom? Ooh, decisions.
I think I started at the top.
Yeah?
I don't know why. I don't know.
In theory, it should line up perfectly.
I was going to say I'd probably just put it in and hope for the best, knowing me.
Probably.
Because it does fit perfectly. There is no hoping for the best. It just fits.
Make your life easy and tuck that tub in before you glue this on. And then we can
I mean, you can do the first one flat.
I could if I wanted to, but I like to make sure that my lines are where they're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to pull that tab there as well, because it's just going to hold it. It's an extra anchor just to hold it in place. So you should end up with it's not a 90, I mean you've got 90 degrees going from there to there. So that's what you should end up with, a nice square corner. Just make sure you can feel that the edges meet. Okay, press that in, so we're happy with that. So half on, I'm going to put the other side down and tuck that in. Sorry, cushion.
You're alright.
Good.
We can see.
Excellent. Bit of glue on there. Tuck that in like so. Give that a couple of seconds and I can just, nope, a few more seconds than that.
Yeah.
Be kind to your glue. We should have this as a mantra. We should maybe have it, next time we do merch, such a big what's on your tote bag.
Be kind to your glue.
Be kind to your glue.
That would be good.
What else do we say often?
Oh, far too many things.
Far too many things. Yes. Okay, there we go. I'm going to be kind. I'm just going to hold that for a second. Get off any excess glue.
The good thing is it all dries clear anyway.
It does. So I'm going to repeat that entire process on the other side. Okay, there is my roof formed, so I have both ends on, and now we can add it onto the cart. Probably should have added the wheels, that would have made sense really, wouldn't it? Never mind. Okay, let's put that to one side and we'll do the wheels. We'll let that dry, because then it's going to be a lot easier. So I have decided to do the properly spinning wheels, so they will move around. So you're going to need this little bracket, kind of looks like a skirt, like this. So you're going to need 6 of these, I want to say. Yes. So we've said 4 to 6 depending on the weight of your cardstock. I've gone with classic card, so I've gone with 6. So I'm going to need 3 for each side. And then you're going to need your wheels as well. And again, this is going to depend on the weight of your cardstock. I've gone with classic, so I've gone with the full 10 that Jodie has recommended in her instructions. If you've got a heavier weight cardstock, you can go with a lighter weight, a lesser number, of wheels, because obviously every time you stick one of these together, you're multiplying the weight of your cardstock ultimately. So I've already done 5 wheels together here. I've got a stack of 3 and then 2 more to go on. And then I've got a stack of 3 of my brackets already and 3 to glue together. And it literally is just a question of gluing them in a stack, as you might expect. So 1 on there.
But this is really important, isn't it? Because those wheels will bend otherwise.
Yes, they will. They absolutely will. And you definitely don't want a sweet cart with wonky wheels.
No, you don't.
Okay, there we go. So that's my set of 3 brackets for the other side.
Now if I was over there, I'd be a really good holder.
You would be a really good holder, but it's okay. They can just sit there flat and they'll be fine. So I've got my stack of 3 wheels. I've got 2 more to go on. I think I've already got, yeah, I've got a good side on both sides already, so it doesn't matter which way I glue these on. And by good side I mean the front of your die cut. So when you're gluing these together in a stack, just reverse the last one. So you have good side.
A good side both sides.
Exactly. Thank you. Words failing. Line your spokes up. You want people to think they're going cross-eyed. It's like to see a spoke out in the middle, especially if you're doing multiple colours. Was it Chablis who had done the front of one of hers with the glitter?
Yeah, I think it was Chablis.
Kind of give you that 3D effect, wouldn't it, if you had one just slightly poking out? And I mean, like, as in...
Like it's already travelling.
Yeah. Or, like, you should be wearing 3D glasses and aren't. And everything just kind of looks a bit weird. There we go.
Like those magic eye pictures.
Oh, those, yeah. I used to be very good at those. I used to be able to go cross-eyed and see them very easily, and I'm not sure that I can anymore.
I can see them, and I think it's because my eyesight's so bad. I can see them now.
There we go, that's the trick. Okay, so I have 2 sets of wheels, 2 sets of brackets. Let's bring the cart back in. So we do have deboss lines. Yeah, this is deboss. Deboss lines on both of these. So on your brackets, you'll notice you have, hopefully you can see, possibly not. Let me show you the die. It's going to be easier to see on there.
You can just see them.
So you've got 2 little deboss lines in here. And the reason for that is that you can line these up with the bottom of your sweet cart, again, to make sure that your wheels are even on both sides. If you're not making spinning wheels, if you just want to glue the wheels onto your sweet cart, you also have deboss lines on your wheel, and you do exactly the same. You put the lines on there and you just glue your wheel onto the side, and again you're going to know they're exactly lined up. So we really have thought of everything for you on this one. Anything that could go wrong, we've tried to find a solution to fix it. So you shouldn't end up with any wonky carts, hopefully. So I'm going to glue my brackets on both sides. Like I say, making sure I've got that score line lined up. You can make sure it's on the line, slightly above the line, slightly below the line, whichever one is easiest for you. Just make sure that it's the same on both sides. Whichever one you choose, it needs to be even. Okay. And do exactly the same with the other one. Line lined up to the bottom.
You're also lining that point up to the edge as well, aren't you?
Yes,
so you've got them the same position that way as well.
And then we're going to take, so this is where I have my emergency brads. So I've got 2 little brads I don't have nicely, oh, they're not even the same size.
No.
Hold on. Thankfully, Karen still has here her apothecary box craft along from the other week. That is full of little brads in drawers, so I can make sure I do actually have a matching pair. Yeah, that's better. You go in there. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to feed my brad. First of all, put both pins through the wheel, and then through the bracket, and then pinch your pins outwards on the back. And you don't want this to be too tight because then it won't rotate at all, but you also don't want it to be too loose, because if it's too loose the wheel can wobble on the bracket, and then you might find that your wheel doesn't sit flat. So happy with that, spins nicely. Flip it over and do exactly the same on the other side. So pins through there and through there, and then just open them up on the back, like so. Now what I would suggest is that if you are putting a panel on the side of here, which I have not done because I forgot to cut it, if I'm perfectly honest, depending on the design that you're using, you may want to glue it over your bracket or under, depending on how it sits within the pattern that you've put on the side of your box.
I would say over.
Probably it is going to need to go over. So far we now have a cart that stands up, no bricks needed under any of the wheels, we're all nicely even. So now it's just a question of finishing off the roof and getting it all in place. So this literally just sits over the top of your 4 uprights, like so. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Make sure these are all nice and straight at the top. Bit of glue just on there. Yep, that one and that one. That one and that one. That one and that one. That one and that one.
Just on the outside edges.
Just the outside edges, yeah. I might have done it wrong when I did it before.
Might have slathered the glue on.
Maybe. So what I did then is I just very gently, slightly pinched my uprights in to get the roof on. Once it is meeting this line here, how am I going to show this? Here, you can then press the side into place and do the same on the opposite side and make sure it's meeting, so the top of your upright should be meeting where this score line is. Once you're happy that it is, that way again it's going to be even, you're not going to have a wonky roof. And we do the same on this side, make sure it's pushed up into there, press it into place, and also on the last one. There we go. And the last thing that I have to go on then, I have cut some of the trim pieces that will just go around the edge of the roof. You can also put these under here if you want to. You can stick them onto the edge before you put your wheel on, obviously. So yeah, you can use these as you want, and you've also got the nice deboss version as well, which is very pretty. Or you could put bunting on instead if you wanted to leave it as a plain edge.
I like that there's a lot of different ways of doing that.
Yeah, so you can make them look different if you want to.
Yeah.
If you're doing multiples for different people or multiples for the same event but you want them to look slightly different, you definitely have options. So we've got long and short pieces for this.
Yeah, no need to trim?
Nope, they are perfectly sized just to go all the way around the edge. Bit more glue on there. And again, I'm just lining them up to that score line where the angle changes. And then the last one is slightly tricky, so do be careful, don't mash your handles. I won't press this one down too hard. There we go. And there is my finished Scrumptious Sweet Cart, ready to roll on in, laden with all kinds of deliciousness. Hope that has helped you, and I look forward to seeing your makes. Don't forget to post them for us over on our official Tonic Studios Facebook group. I think that's what it's called, or maybe those words but in a different order. And we'll have a look, see what you've made, and you may even feature on one of our weekend shows coming up very soon. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you all again very soon. Happy crafting!